Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the FireStorm podcast. And this week we're bringing you another anime review. And today we'll be reviewing simultaneously the greatest and most crap show both of us have ever seen, Trinity Seven.
Yeah, Trinity Seven. It's really good for what it is, but. Yeah. I forgot at the same time just how crap a lot of it is. It's also like it's very strange. Like I want more, but it's crap.
Yeah.
No, it's an odd feeling. But yeah. So we both watched Trinity Seven, I think, on Crunchyroll. Did you watch it on Crunchyroll? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Surprisingly. Australian Crunchyroll had both of the movies as well, so that was very helpful. We found the OVA because I downloaded it from like Kiss Anime.
I watched both of the movies too. They're on Crunchyroll.
Yes,
there's no region exclusive for Crunchyroll.
Thank fuck for that. But yeah, I also found I got the OVA like 3 years ago off Kiss Anime, so we got to watch the OVA as well.
Very epic.
And that was that. Okay, that OVA, I'm going to be completely honest, it was one of the few OVAs that not only continued the plot, but gave us a lot of plot. We usually where OVAs just give us, like at least like OVAs for harem anime, just give us more plot. Like as in tits.
Yes.
But this gave us the best of both plots, so you know what?
Yes, all plots of all kinds.
Yeah, can't argue with that. So... yeah, let's
wait. Okay, before I forget, the OVA is the OVA is the one where they where Arata and Lilith totally hug it out, right?
Hug it out.
You know what?
I think they do.
Is that the movie?
I think they do hug it at. They hug it out in both, I believe, but they do hug it out in the OVA at the end.
Because there's this one really cute scene where it's fucking 3 a.m. or some shit. And she shows up at his room and she's like, I want to have sex. And then she doesn't actually want to have sex. She's just jealous.
Yeah, that's the OVA.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the OVA pretty recently, so I didn't feel like I needed to watch it again.
Yeah, no,
I just got everything confused.
No, that's fair. The OVA, surprisingly, not bad. Again, it's a lot of plot. So it was really so funny. Much plot. It was very funny as well. That's which cannot be understated. So yeah, I like a lot of Trinity Seven. Of course it's a harem anime, so you get what you get with harem animes. A lot of appealing female character designs and a one kind of bland, kind of not protagonist. Like every one of these protagonists in harem anime have one unique aspect to their personality, and then the rest of the time it's
the same,
boring or the same. But Arata, he was a bit more interesting than usual harem protagonists.
He was more fun to watch. He was. He knew when to go to dead serious and he knew when to be funny, and his quote-unquote perviness or accidental perviness, whenever that kicked in, at times it felt forced, but at times it also felt oh, this is actually funny, good on ya, tits, woohoo. But of course, I can see the comparison between Arata and Issei from High School DxD. Arata's literally just a more confident Issei. That's literally it. They both have this magnificent power held within them, and they both ascend to they train and ascend to the reaching the limits of their power very quickly, and they both have the ability to rip girls' clothes off. So hey,
yeah,
I want that ability.
Hashtag harem protagonist. But yeah, no, Arata, he was interesting. Everything about him being a Demon Lord candidate, again, that reminds me as well of another harem show that I watched, Demon King Diamo. where the
Never
guy,
heard
the
of it.
protagonist, was just randomly like, oh, by the way, this guy is a potential demon lord. He's very strong. And then a bunch of chicks gather to fucking make sure he doesn't destroy the world. And that's basically what happened here. But
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
yeah, but the one part of Trinity Seven which I liked over top of a lot of other harem shows like Demon King Diamo is that the plot actually connected with it. Like, it didn't leave anything hanging. It actually like connected plot threads, like with Hijiri. Oh, by the way, spoilers are incoming.
Spoilers.
I hope you realize this. Spoilers are incoming. But like
Please
the
watch
plot
the
with
show.
yeah, Crunchyroll, legal streaming service. Watch it. Like the connecting plot thread of Hijiri not actually like being a proper member of Arata's family, rather she has basically lived for thousands of years, and her goal is to destroy the Demon Lord candidate and the Trinity Seven because they are inaugural to the reincarnation of the world. So she is like pretending to be Arata's family member to get that connection and to watch him to make sure he doesn't meet the Trinity Seven and destroy the world.
Yep.
And in this timeline, he's like, Arata's decided to take the high ground and be like, you know what? I'm still going to have my harem of bitches, but I'm not going to destroy the world. And it's just like, wow, on ya, lad.
What a legend.
But, yeah, it was...
Massive orgy. It's not going to destroy the world.
No.
Best of both worlds.
Literally, like, there was that one scene in like the second to last or the last episode of the season where Hijiri is telling them all of this, and then it just cuts to her like watching a vision of one of the worlds ending, and it's just Arata in his like demon lord form, surrounded by all the Trinity Seven, completely naked.
Yes.
And then, like, they're all over him, and then it's just like, and then the world ended. And it's just like, wow, he literally orgied the world into ending.
Not a bad way to go out.
Not a bad way to go out. Except, well, but still, you're destroying the world.
Well, true. Yeah. You're taking everyone else
Yeah.
with you. That kind of sucks. But, I mean, if it was just me going out, not a bad way. I'd almost be okay with that.
Oh, I don't doubt that people... I don't doubt that man's goal is to end their lives fucking. Because,
Oh, yeah. That is literally the scientific reason for existence. Fucking.
I mean...
To reproduce.
That's how we
That's
got
what
here,
that's what
so-
biology says. Yeet.
Yep.
And that's what I'm gonna do. Time to whip my willy out. What? That's zip. Okay. Nah, it's as far as I go.
Please don't actually get your dick out on camera. That's,
I'm not on camera. You'll never. I could have had my dick out in any one of these podcasts, and no one would ever know.
Now I'm going to be afraid that I've been talking to a man with his dick out this entire time.
Well, you're welcome. And you'll never know.
Help. I don't know how.
What you don't know won't kill you. But
Yep.
I'm not naked.
All right. Welcome to the FireStorm podcast where we have our dicks out and no one knows.
Exactly. It's fine.
It's fine. So yeah, what did you think about the show?
Okay, well, I have words. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to like put my thoughts into like one big fucking string of words, and hopefully it makes sense. So, right. The primary strength of Trinity Seven as an entity, as a show, as a movie, as whatever it is, it's the characters and their dialogue. It is so much fun throughout everything Trinity Seven that I have watched, and even the little bit of the manga that I've read, just to watch them talk to each other, because the writing doesn't miss a beat. It keeps true to the characters no matter what the situation is, and it's just the way it doesn't take itself too seriously all the time. And, you know, like right in the middle of like a big battle, Arata will make some kind of pervy comment, and sometimes it's fitting and sometimes it's not. But most of the time I would say like, hey, it's a nice, it's like a fairly okay or like decent break away from like all the heavy shit going on. So it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch the characters talk to each other, and the writing with every single character is absolutely spot on. But its issues are with its lore and like the whole fucking demon shit and Trinity Seven like lore going on. For a show that focuses so much on tits and all this other shit, it tries to do way too much with like all of this demon lord background shit and like the Trinity Seven. Like there's so much lore, and they're even giving new lore to us in, like you said, the 11th episode, the 12th episode. They're giving us new information. Episode 12 is where I should be like invested in the final plot, having already received all of the information necessary, or at least most of it, like all the necessary information. And then by that, like in the final plot, you're just adding to the information we already know. You're not giving us, you shouldn't be giving us like brand new information that like, you know, the fate of the world depends on, you know, the demon lord meeting his harem of bitches. Like, you know, it tries to do way too much.
I completely agree, especially with trying to explain things like the demon lord lore, and then everything involving the spells just confused the fuck out of me.
It's not at all thought out.
No, it was only until like the first movie, when they did like a recap and an introduction, is when I actually kind of understood what was going on in regards to every member of the Trinity Seven or like special mages have archives.
Yeah.
And the archives, you have to learn your archive, which is essentially a book. It's kind of like a book in your mind to unlock spells called Tamers? T-H-E-M-A.
They're
Themers.
Yeah, themes.
Themers, yeah. So you unlock and learn themers, which are spells, and then if you're special, you get a grimoire as well. And yeah, so I kind of got it at the very end, but yeah, throughout the show it was very confusing.
Yeah, they don't put enough. Like, I don't know. Basically my point is they try to do way too much with it. The spell system is way too in depth, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, and the whole like the archives and themes stuff, like I'm okay with that. Like just the idea that each of the Trinity Seven represents like a certain archive or whatever. Like that makes sense to me. Like that, I'm not mad about that. But like the problem is there's so much just information and exposition and stuff you have to know for this to make sense. And even literally Hijiri shows up in like episode 11 or whatever, and literally she's trying to kill Arata or whatever it is she's doing, and literally she stops everything for exposition, to give us exposition. Like she literally talks for like 5 minutes instead of killing Arata. Like that's exactly the problem. You've given us like, oh, here's a big character return that, you know, he's this whole goal, like Arata's whole goal up until this point has been to find this chick. All of a sudden she comes back. I should be, you know, more like, holy shit, I know why this happened, but I can't believe it. Instead of, it happened, now let me understand why through 5 minutes of exposition from the antagonist. Hello? Yeah. Okay, anyway, so that's basically the main problem I had with it. Also, the movies were confusing and weird and just not really, they didn't really have much of a point, but they were fun.
No.
Again, it's all, like, the entire, like, the appeal of Trinity Seven is the characters, because the characters are spectacular. Just the dynamic they all have together is great. Just watching them talk, and even Arata being a perv half the time is hilarious. Like the way he's so confident about it is just a lot of fun. And you know, I actually was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like a big reason why people don't like Fairy Tail is because during the big, and this is for people who are picky, obviously there are much more things you could criticize Fairy Tail on, but basically the point is, during like big fight scenes or whatever, especially with the girls who, if you've seen anything fairy tale, you know pretty much every chick has massive tits. They will get like half naked for no reason, and like they'll just be a crap load of fan service during big fight scenes, and it's not really, they'll argue it's not really necessary, or it's like it detracts from the big fight scene and your emotional investment. It like takes you out of the moment, I guess, is what their argument is. This show is very similar in that it focuses on fan service and pervy shit when in places it probably shouldn't. But it's likable and charming if you're okay with that kind of thing. Like for me, that shit in fairy tale never been an issue. I go along with it. Like, tits, cool. And then move on with my day. Like, it's this. You have to be of the right mindset to kind of just to be able to put that aside to kind of at least try to understand what's going on. But overall, I guess it's really enjoyable. Like, you know, I feel like I've said something similar about something completely different, but basically as long as you don't think about this too hard, you're gonna enjoy Trinity Seven. Like, as long as you don't think about all of the shit that's going on and you just watch it casually and for fun, you're gonna love Trinity Seven, probably, especially if you're an asshole like we are. But and you like
unfortunately, I'm the guy that always thinks too much about things, because I like plot. I like both types of plot. I mean, I like tits, but then I like tits, and then I like a good story.
Yeah.
And the main criticisms I have are like similar to yours. Like, at times things like when Arata's a perv, like that, sometimes it's funny and sometimes it disrupts the flow of things. And the one thing I dislike heavily about a lot of anime is just the amount of exposition they give in a moment when they shouldn't be talking. Like, every single fight, like, there was no impressive fights in the anime because they felt slow, even though they were saying, like, when Levi, whenever she went into a fight, she's just like, I'm so quick, I'm a ninja. And then she would always, like, teleport behind someone and then say, haha, you did not see this coming, and then swing, and then they would dodge because you just fucking exploited your position. And it's so fucking stupid. Like, the amount of talking they do in their fights just disrupts the flow of a good fight scene. And then, like, some of the times where, like, a chick's clothes get blown off in the middle of the fight, and then they do that, and then kneel down and cover themselves up, and then 2 seconds later they use their power to apparate new clothes. And it's just like, okay, look, I get that, but why have the freak out moment if you're just going to spawn clothes 2 seconds later? Like, logically, if you're in that situation, you wouldn't be doing that, because you're like, I've lost my clothes. Flick of a finger, and I got my clothes back on. And instead, they have to do the whole freak out, and then Arata going, ha, nice! And instead, they have to do all that just for the fan service.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, at times, it's funny, but in the middle of a fight, it just disrupts the flow of everything. It takes you out of the situation. And I know it's trying to be mostly a comedy, but you can't be mostly a comedy and then give us this serious plot about Arata is destined to meet the Trinity Seven and destroy the world, and he's gonna find his lost cousin who's not actually a cousin because she's fucking gonna destroy all demon lords and shit. Like, you can't give us a serious plot. They had to try and balance it, and they were leading too much towards the comedic stuff for us to take the actual plot seriously. And it's like, it was very annoying at several parts. The best fight scene took place, in my personal opinion, in the second movie, when Lilith's father and Arata were having a sword fight with no conversation. Like, It was just like a minute and a half of, or like a minute of solid sword fighting, and that was actually like a good
animated fight scene, and I enjoyed that. But during the series, it was trash, like, because there was fuck all happening. It was just, okay, this chick lost her clothes, this chick got attacked, this person had killed a few things, Arata has to learn a new spell, and then everyone summon their big bad ultimate spells and then win the fight. And it's like,
yay!
Okay. And
really creative.
Yeah.
Outside the box thinking right there.
Yeah, so I had a couple problems with Trinity Seven because it couldn't balance serious plot and, like, pervy shit well. Like, the first episode balanced it very well because it was just like, oh, sorry, Hijiri, tit. And then all the dialogue and exposition with Lilith and, like, the whole fucking breakdown phenomenon, like, it all was done very well in the first episode, and then things just developed from there. But I agree with you in the sense that, yeah, all the characters, they had their strong points, and the dialogue was written well to heighten those strong points. Like, every character was appealing in their own way. Yeah, and there's a lot to like about it. You're exactly right. If you don't think about it too much, you can go along for the ride and enjoy it. But it's hard not to think about it too much when they're cramming so much exposition down your throat.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's tough, but, like, because I remember the first time I watched it, I was along for the ride, and it was good. Just because, like, I remember really liking it just because, like, I was so on board with the character dialogue. But in rewatching it for this, it was like, there's a lot going on here that just does not make sense. But in the pacing, I think, was a little off. It was good for the most part. It was like, I think, almost like, I think Lee's fight, like, that was that whole big thing that took like 2 episodes. It was a bit oddly paced. Like, first she shows up, then she, like, goes away, then she, like, shows up again. She, like, defeats the principal with titty power, and then loses also because of titty power. And then she gets stuck in, like, fucking infinite time thing, and somehow is okay, but, like, can be summoned with a camera, and I don't know. There's a lot going on here that just doesn't quite add up. And when I say doesn't quite, that's very generous.
Well, I understood that as, like, she got stuck in space-time, but Selena's whole power is, like, because they have the same power, Louise and her sister Selena. Selena used her power to snap her sister into the camera. So instead of being stuck in her own space-time dimension, she's stuck in Selena's, which is within the camera.
Fair.
So I kind of got that. So rather than her be lost in her own endless space-time bullshit, she's going to be with her sister instead. So
okay,
that's nice.
Well, you understood more than me.
See, yeah, because I pay attention. I with any show like to pay attention to the plot. There's 1 or 2 shows out there where I can go along for the ride and just enjoy the tits, but majority of the time I'm here for the plot because I like stories.
Okay, well, you can't say the same because I like tits.
Hey, the tits here were nice.
Yeah, they were good.
They tried so hard not to reveal any nipple. It was the hardest thing for them to do. It's just
other
like,
than their dicks.
We can't.
While making this show.
It's just like, no, we cannot draw the nipple. Otherwise...
But they were, like, under bathing suits and stuff. Like, you could see their, like, outlines and shit.
Yeah, but they
that's not against the law. That's not against the Crunchyroll rules. That's under... That's fair game.
Japanese law.
I mean, it still ended up on Crunchyroll. It's still good. Got still cleared.
Still good. Alright, I'll head into the episode breakdown. I'll try and speed through this because there's a lot to cover, and we've talked about a lot of it already. episode 1, we both fucking love the OP.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Seven Doors by Zack is fucking awesome. It is a phenomenal song.
What a great song.
And it shows off all the girls well, and shows off Arata well as well. So, yeah, cannot argue that it doesn't have good music. It does have good music. A few of the ending songs were weird, but for the most part, it had good music.
Yeah.
I had here, tit grabbing your cousin Hijiri. What a way to start the morning.
I'm on board with that.
Again, it's later found out that it's that they're not cousins. It's a lie. Haha. But the setup of their relationship is actually done pretty well, aside from the tit grabbing. Especially
including the tit
they made
grabbing.
a point. Depends if you're from Texas or not. But they
You mean West Virginia,
made a good point.
or Alabama, or what? I don't know, for fucking all these other shit. Anywhere
Tasmania.
south.
They made a good point establishing their relationship, but fairly straight. Then they, within 5 minutes, get into the Black Sun and the breakdown phenomenon, and it's done very well. How Arata discovers that Hijiri is not Hijiri because of the picture that she drew when she was a kid, with the red sun in the picture and the black sun in the sky, and he's just like, "You little bitch, who are you?" And it's like it worked pretty well. I literally had mages with sniper rifles. Damn. Lilith is a fucking babe, because Lilith
She is, though.
is a fucking babe. So
What a
a breakdown
cutie pie.
phenomenon a breakdown phenomenon destroyed the world, and Hijiri is secretly a mage or some shit who gave Arata a wish-granting grimoire before they all disappeared. Oh, and also incest alert, but they're not actually cousins, so
It's okay.
yes.
Pranked.
His wish to the grimoire was to have the world return to the way it was before he destroyed it, and as a result created the situation. With the knowledge his cousin is actually alive, he transfers to a magic school to become a mage with the grimoire his cousin gave him. This poses the question of how she had a grimoire in the first place, and it's later revealed that, yep, she's a fucking mage.
Yep.
Straight away, Selena with the hard-hitting questions. Do you like tits?
Do you like girls with big boobs or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, by the way, did you cause a breakdown phenomenon and destroy the world? And he's just like, yep. And everyone's just like, oh shit, he's a Demon Lord candidate. So that was funny.
Well, shit.
The headmaster is one of the funniest fucking guys in the show.
Dude, he's a legend.
So funny. Headmaster is phenomenal. In my personal opinion, the way he goes on about the Trinity Seven, and then the rapid rate in which Arata meets the Trinity Seven is just so fucking quick. It's just because they're all interested in him because he's a Demon Lord candidate. I guess it makes sense, but it's just the way he was going on about them was just they're excelled in their class. They're boss characters.
Yeah,
and you have to find them, and then they all jump in front of him and be like, "Yo, I'm a member of the Trinity Seven.
Oh,
give me your dick." But the thing is, the principal actually hints at the future of the Demon Lord and the Trinity Seven, because he says if you can make the Trinity Seven your pawns, you may be able to become a really good mage really quickly. And then he does.
Yep.
So there you go. Levi appears. She's a goddamn mage ninja.
I love her.
I don't know. Levi is really good. She's very good. Arata and Levi chatting about how Lilith gets turned on from teaching. It was fucking really funny. It's just Levi is the perfect mix of pervy but funny. She's also somewhat pervy in her own right.
yeah. She's pretty gay too. I'm on board with it.
She's pretty what?
She's pretty gay. Like, as in she, like, kind of likes girls.
Oh. Yeah, no, she's straight up bi, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And then I literally wrote, how's Arata the only male student in the bath? Because, like, it's the middle of the day or some shit, and he's the only one in the bath. Yeah. And it's just like, I swear there's no other male students here, and I don't think there actually is. I think, like...
I didn't see many, if they existed.
No. And then, said, now a petite chick who has an odd resemblance to Hijiri and no sense of privacy is in the bath.
And
her name is Aaron. Was that her quote?
Yes, this is pretty difficult.
Say that again.
Hatsukashina ne.
Yes. Her Japanese voice actor was really cute, and the way she said that, I liked it. It was cute. And then Lilith is just like, no, bitch, get out the guy's bathroom.
Stop being naked.
There you go. Yeah, no one likes being naked, apparently. And then episode 1 ended. The outro song I wrote was way too techno for me compared to the rock song of Seven Doors. Although the multiple female rap group was rather interesting, but meh.
I don't really care for the outro.
I wasn't a fan of a lot of the outro songs, but yeah. Anyway, episode 2. Aaron basically tells Arata, look, I meant to be the Demon Lord candidate's wife. For what reason? Plot.
Yeah, because I said so.
That's it. Selena being like, hey, Lilith, cook, you bitch. It was really funny. Because, like, Selena's sitting down for an interview, and it's just like, Lilith, make something for it to eat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I found that funny for some reason. Arata's Astral Codex, which is his grimoire, which houses knowledge of another world, basically traps them in Arata's room.
Yep.
And says, figure out how to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And all the girls basically be like, hey, Arata, we all of a sudden need to pee. And then they decide to trick the grimoire and be like, oh, by the way, we found it. And the grimoire's just like, oh, you found the spell underneath the bed. And they flip the bed and...
Pranked.
Break out, and then all the fucking chicks run away. And it's kind of revealed that Levi is secretly a pervert as well, and it's pretty funny. Then I forgot which scene it happened, but I wrote the headmaster breaking through the window. What the fuck? I laughed really hard. When did he do that? When did he break through the window? Oh, he did. He was in the hallway. He just dived from the outside and broke through the window. Oh, that was funny. He's so funny. So yeah, every member of the Trinity Seven, their grimoire kind of relates to their power, I guess, or like their seven deadly sin archive, that they represent.
Their seven deadly sins.
So Aaron's is destruction, and she's good at spells that destroy shit, I guess.
I do like the idea that this is... I think... I can't remember if it's introduced in this episode or the first one, but that, like, your thema or whatever it is, like, the furthest thing away from your actual personality.
Oh, that's not introduced till heaps later in the series,
it? I
actually.
can't remember.
Yeah, it's not introduced to heaps later, but yeah, that was... And interesting, because they reveal later that...
It definitely was early, because they introduced how Lilith was, when Arata picked his thema, he was like, it has to be the furthest thing away from you. And he picked his in, like, episode 2 or 3.
Control.
Yeah.
But I'd swear that's not where the exposition happened. I did write it down, I broke down the episode, so I'm pretty sure it was a bit later, but they might have hinted at it early, but... It wasn't that explicit, but yeah. So I didn't understand spells at this point when they were explaining it. So what I've written down makes no sense. But and then so apparently there's another breakdown phenomenon because Aaron accidentally unlocks Arata's fucking demon lord potential or some shit. I don't know. But then Mira and Akio, the grimoire security, rock up and they're going to be like, hey, we got to kill you. All right?
Oh.
And
damn.
Mira, there was Akio? Was Akio the tall one that kicks people?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Akio attempts to punt kick Arata to end the episode. So, there you go. I just want to pause the recording for a minute because I'm getting hot and I want to take off my jumper.
Okay.
And we're back. Alright. So yeah, at this point I got incredibly, confused because they end episode 2 with Akio attempting to punt kick Arata.
Seems legit.
And then they start episode 3 at the beach. It's just oh shit. It was, I mean, for as far as beach episodes go,
oh yeah,
nice,
top notch.
And then so basically Arata ended up destroying the school with his power, so as punishment him and Aaron have to cook for the students while all the students enjoy the beach. What an odd turn of events. Mm-hmm. And
a man
Arata's
who can
quote
cook.
here.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes, sir.
This is Gordon Ramsay? How is this possible? But his quote here, which I literally want to put on my wall: I love boobs as long as they're attached to a cute girl.
Yeah, I
put
agree.
that on my wall. I love all boobs as long as they're attached to a cute girl.
Yep.
Doesn't matter the size or shape as long as they're cute. Fucking non-discriminatory here, except if you're an ugly girl. So,
Heyo.
but damn.
Shit.
So it's revealed that Arata is saved from the punt kick because he's teleported to the dream world of Yui, who is a white-haired, star-eyed babe. She's overly cutesy,
Yes.
rather moe, and then kind of straight away becomes infatuated with Arata, and she has two forms, one that's in the dream world who's a lot more composed and serious, and then one in the real world where she's just basically overly clingy and I don't know. But I kind of like Yui. I thought she was alright.
Yeah, she's alright.
Yeah,
she's kind of cute.
Yeah. I really did like her design because she had the long white hair, the golden star eyes, and then pink love heart things in her hair.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a pretty nice design. So yeah. Yes. Then there was just a lot of shit happened, and then at this point, oh wait, no, they're still going through how they stopped the breakdown phenomenon, and then Arata returns and says he's chosen his thema, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and his is control. So it's revealed here, Arata has the thema of control, Aaron has destruction, and Mira, the short blonde-haired chick with the giant fucking ball, I don't know what crystal gem, whatever the fuck it is. Mira
We are the crystal gems. I don't know.
Mira has
something.
justice. I don't know. It has justice. I don't know what it does. It's never really talked about. I guess
It senses impure magic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. What did you think of Mira, by the way? I'm curious.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I get she's a big ass tsundere, but she came off as such a dickweed in the first few episodes she was in. Just not even even Akio was way more likable than she was. And she's just a big ass tsundere because in the last episode she's in the maid outfit or whatever. But I mean, she's kind of cute, I guess, but it's like there are way cuter girls in this show. You have a lot of options.
Yeah, that's fair. I honestly, I disliked Mira and Akio both at the start when they were just grimoire security and being like, yeah, we gotta kill you. Like, they were kind of annoying. I mostly didn't like Akio because of a dumb smile. Like, the way it's drawn, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Wow.
But, but throughout the show, Mira got a good amount of development, and and Akio got a bit, but Akio got most of her development in the second movie, which was nice to see. So by the end, I came around to them. When Mira was explaining her backstory to Arata later in the series, like, I did become a bit more. I did like her a bit more because she actually has reasons for everything. So yeah, I came around to them at the start. Yeah, though they were annoying.
Agreed.
Then I wrote here, of fucking course, the protagonist's power accidentally rips the clothes off of all the females.
I'm not surprised.
And then I said, oh, wait a minute, it did strip him as well, lol. Fucking, yeah.
Very epic. I mean, that's the power of any harem protagonist.
Exactly.
He doesn't need it. I mean, half the time they don't even need a spell. They could just ask nicely.
Yeah.
And they would just take all their clothes off.
But also this is the point where I was just getting so confused with everything, because these are all the spells and like unique magical abilities they hinted at. They hinted at archives, grimoires, themas, and magus mode, and there was just like magus mode, and they just pushed all this shit in 3 episodes without properly explaining any of it. So. Yeah, I don't know. One quote here that I really loved. I forgot who it was to. I think it was to Selena. I don't remember. From Arata. The only other thing I have to show you is in my trunks. It's just like, that's a one-way trip to a restraining order, mate. But
or a good-ass time.
Or a good-ass time. Then they have a mixed bath. Because why not? They just had a beach episode. Why not go to a mixed bath?
2 in 1.
Yeah. So they talk about the Trinity Seven that are present, which are Lilith, Aaron, Levi, Mira, Akio, and Yui, and the supposedly unknown 7th woman, but it's obviously Selena's sister, because you've seen the OP at this point and know she has a twin sister.
Yep.
They explain that Arata's stripping people naked ability is actually just his power not being focused. His power of control is meant to be able to disable other people from using their own magic, but because he can't control it properly, it just tears apart their clothes instead.
Hey.
So, Arata's power is actually quite overpowered, because not only can he gain control of and learn other people's powers with the grimoire, but his normal original thema is able to disable them from using their own power.
Yep.
So, Arata's, in reality, if he learns his shit right, he's pretty OP. So, yeah. And then also there's another spell hinted here called Outer Alchemic, which I don't get it. I don't know what that is, but they mention it. Whatever. Yeah, so 3 episodes in and I'm confused.
What else is new?
Yeah. So what were you thinking about the series up until this point? You've seen 3 episodes and you're like, oh, tits and lots of women.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's very obvious at this point that not a lot of, like, I don't know if it's effort is the right word, but maybe not a lot of effort went into explaining the spell system and the magic system and the lore and all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot going on here that just doesn't quite make sense. So they're trying to develop Arata's into a, like, you know, this demon lord candidate, like a mage that can actually do something. And it's it doesn't quite work, just because like we don't have a proper understanding of all this complicated, like, for like pointlessly overcomplicated stuff that they've included here. Like, it didn't need to be so in depth. Like, it could have been so much simpler than it was. And I just don't think they put, and if they were going to make it this complicated, they didn't put enough effort into like allowing us to understand it. Like, instead of showing us tits all the time, maybe if you really wanted to get us invested in the plot, you could spend a little more time talking about how all this shit works and why it, what you have to do and all this other shit. Like, more exposition. That's what the point of these first few episodes is for. And it's just like, tits, cool, and
it felt like, rather than explaining how things work, they were slowly explaining it to Arata throughout the series, which also resulted in them explaining it to us as well.
Yeah.
But that
I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but again, they just didn't... more information being added throughout the series is not a bad thing. It's just the way, like, we don't even have a fundamental understanding of anything at this point. And without a fundamental understanding of how it works, you can't add anything on top of that. So, I don't know. But it's fun, and the girls are hot. That's about it.
Yeah. We'll get to it soon, but I know who your best girl is.
Oh, yeah. I've said it many times.
Tell the audience.
Oh, tell the audience? Okay, here we go, dude. It's this... I don't know how long this is going to be, but guess what? It's the best girl in this show. At least in my humble and also correct opinion, it's Lise, because she is... she's... Not only is she one... Maybe not the hottest, but one of the hottest girls in the show, among many very hot women in the show. But just her attitude, like her kind of sassiness, and like even though she's evil, right? Like this whole, she's so like flirty, and like she's just totally okay with like all this fucking pervy shit. Like she's just totally chill with it. And even in like the movies, especially in the second movie, she had some pretty good moments in the second movie, aside from when she also got naked. I'm not just talking about the time when she got naked, even though she's gotten naked a few times. I'm just talking about generally, like, especially in the, like, before she got naked, like Arata was like, hey, I like you because you're you and you're Lise and you're my friend, and she like started crying and shit. I was like, oh my god, I love you. And she's just so like, she's so like playfully flirty, and I love her. Like, I love that type of girl. Like, that shit is just so hot. Like, I had a massive erection whenever she was on screen. Like, huge. Like, as big as I can get, which isn't terribly impressive, right? But, as big as it got, that was it. Just fucking massive. Not actually. But in my heart, I did.
Would you say knowing she has a smaller twin sister is an upside or a downside?
Upside, big time. Especially because before, if somehow you got really lucky, I really like Selena a lot too. She's very cute. She's much more innocent, and but like kind of like Lise, she's like kind of okay with the pervy shit, just not as okay with it, and not like Lise goes along with it and adds to it, whereas Selena is just kind of like, yep, that's Arata for you. But Selena is very cute. But basically, like, the idea is, right, if you somehow got really lucky, you could have a threesome, but like with the same girl. It's like the same girl twice at once. But like one has a little bit bigger tits. Anyway, I spent a lot of time thinking about this. No, just kidding. But no, it's very important to me. Anyway, Selena's great. Other than that, Lilith is great too. I think her and Arata's relationship is very wholesome, despite how pervy he is. They have some great moments throughout the show together. Like, in the last episode where they go on their little date, in the OVA where they like, they have that really emotional moment together. And even like in the first, even like both movies, both the first one and the second one, them having the little girl from the like kind of gain consciousness from her grimoire, and her becoming their like collective daughter. That shit was fucking adorable. I was just like, oh my god, like even the characters in the movie were like they look like they're married and have a child, and that is it. Like that is so cute. And like even in the second movie, like Lilith, despite how much she doesn't really like how pervy and weird he is about that kind of stuff, he's like she shows confidence throughout the second movie. Is like, even though he's a demon lord now, he's still our Arata, and she's like, you go girl, yes. And I love those two together. Like they complement each other really nicely. Anyway, but Lise is still best girls. But thankfully, she's not like it's her and it's Lilith and Arata. So Lise is now mine. So I'm claiming her. Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yep.
What about you? Best girl, go.
God, see, again, they all have their benefits, and I felt like some of them didn't get enough development in the story. I agree that Lilith was very, like, Lilith had a lot of positives to her, except that there was that trope that happened, like, at the end of every episode, where it's just her clothes burst off for one, that bugged me, because it was so... It happened
used
every
very
fucking
frequently.
time. Yeah, it was annoying. But,
Yep.
again, yeah.
But like, if
if
you personally had to marry any one of them, which one would it be?
I don't fucking know. I don't think too much about this shit, in all honesty. I
do.
I don't know. I liked Levi the most. I just
Fair.
thought she was funny and she was cute, and like she wasn't as sassy as Louise, but she was still like pervy in a good way.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, imagine if Lilith got off on teaching. And it was like, I don't know, I found it amusing.
I always thought that was about like how Lilith blushing turned Arata on. That was what that conversation was about. Like, look, she's blushing. Doesn't that turn you on? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely.
There were parts of it where they were saying that, but the first interaction between all three of them was literally just like, oh, you're going to be getting lessons from Lilith because she's a teacher. It's just like, yeah, I heard she gets off on teaching. And then Lilith just fucking backhands Arata, even though Levi was the one that said it. Because, I don't know, I thought it was funny. But, I mean, like, see, a few of the other girls, like, Aaron was just a bit too stone cold. There was a few moments where Aaron got to actually smile and be sweet.
Yeah.
But overall, she was, meh. Yui... I mean, Yui in the dream world, the more composed Yui.
Oh yeah,
she was great.
She was cute.
But the overly clingy Yui was just annoying. Yeah, I have to agree about your sentiments of Selena and Lise. Are we forgetting anyone?
Akio and Mira.
Yeah, I've already said my piece. Akio. I do like Akio's development when she also has the form where she goes back to being a little nun. Something about using a lot of her power sends her back to being that form. I don't fully understand that. It was something about focusing all of her power into defense rather than attack.
Come here, bitch.
I don't know.
Sorry, there was a fly on my screen. I got it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I like the development later on. And the fact that Akio also becomes, like, similar to Levi in which she's okay with the pervy stuff, but literally in the OVA she says, look, I don't give a shit about your pervy stuff, just be a little bit more gentle with Mira because she's more innocent, and it's just like, okay.
Like, and she even, like, starts calling Arata Nissan, like, not a car, Nissan, as in, like, brother.
Yeah, that's right. She keeps calling it. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, she calls her Nissan. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was, and then like even the hug they had in the second movie that was cute.
Yeah.
It was adorable. Like I did like Akio's development, and Mira. I do like Mira. Like I came around to Mira. Like it was pretty funny, but it's just like her development and growing, the way she developed and everything, and about her everyone calling her out for being a tsundere at the end. But then, like, the bit that kind of just confused me was in the OVA, where, like, Mira fell asleep during them studying.
Yeah.
And then she thinks, wait a minute, what is Arata doing? Because all she sees is Arata above him, and she's just like, I have to stop him, but I don't want to. And then it turns out Arata's just putting her to bed. And he says, oh, thanks for studying with me, and then leaves. And then she just goes mental saying, why did I want him to assault me? So it's just like, you are 110% tsundere, motherfucker.
Yep.
It's just, oh my god. Like,
big time.
Again, cute in her own way, but weird as well.
Yes,
so,
very strange.
Yeah, I guess the girl I liked the most was Levi.
Fair. Ninja Girl.
Not even for the ninja thing, just her dialogue and her just, like...
I was just saying she's a ninja girl.
I don't give a shit that she's a ninja, in all honesty. Like, that's... Like, the ninja thing was the last thing that drew me to her. It was like, everything else was just fucking mint. I don't know.
Good pick, though.
Yeah. Well, who would you say is the worst pick from the show? Damn it.
Imagine having her as your wife, dude. Your life would suck.
No.
Yes.
First of all, no.
Yes.
She can cook. No, wait, no, she can't cook. She's just a maid. Akio's the cook. Damn it.
Yep.
My plot has been ruined.
I mean, you could come home to see her in a maid outfit, but but she would be embarrassed about it, and you wouldn't be able to do anything. She would just, force herself to be in a maid outfit.
When she got embarrassed, I did think that was cute, but then again, like, her being overly embarrassed and overly serious all the time, I mean, I guess, but I still liked her. As a character, I liked her, but...
She was a good character, but, I mean, if you're asking about worst wife material, it's Mira, dude. That would suck.
I guess. Oh, well, worst wife material. What about Yui? Because she keeps calling you brother.
That's true. Maybe not Mira. Maybe it would be Yui or... Well, Aren would be hard to deal with, but... I don't know.
Oh, Aren would just be the... Aren straight away is just like she's the loyal person that will do
she's
anything.
Very loyal, at least.
But
Yui's annoying.
But Yui got very annoying. Like, she just became very annoying. I have a kid with Oni-chan.
No. Alright, I won't do that again.
Don't do that ever again.
Okay. I can't promise anything,
I'll
but...
fly to America and end you.
What if I want that? Holy shit.
Pay for my ticket. Anyway,
anyway. Well, I'll be dead when you leave anyway. Shit.
Anyway. I'm only up to episode 4. I'm gonna get quicker with this. Episode 4 is another breakdown phenomenon happens, and it's revealed that Yui is the one behind it. So Yui's in like a dungeon, and one of my favorite quotes is Arata to the principal being like, "Wait, you have a dungeon?" And the headmaster's just like, "This is a magic academy after all."
Hey.
It's just like anime.
You right,
but
though.
Yeah. So Yui is the one in the dungeon that's accidentally causing the breakdown phenomenon. I don't know how. Like, she's being controlled by something. I don't know. Then the bit in the dungeon where they're having the fight. There's a speech. Levi gives Arata a speech comparing the battle he has to face here to erase this breakdown phenomenon, it being similar to the battle he'll have to face in order to save Hijiri. So him learning more spells now will help him develop, and it encourages him well. Except there was a bit of sexual tension where Levi literally just bit Arata's finger. And it's just like, why? Okay. And fuck off. And then then they destroy the dragon phantasm thing. No. They destroy the phantasm thing, yes. And then there's kind of like an anticlimactic ending, and then Yui calls Arata Oni-san, like, why? And then Levi starts to get attached to Arata because okay, fine, whatever.
Because it's a harem.
Because it's a harem.
Woohoo!
And then there's another strange intro song. And then episode... Is this 5? I think it's 5. Let me scroll up. 5. It starts off with the best intro ever. Where Aaron wakes up. Aaron wakes up and... Arata wakes up and both Yui and Aaron are just in bed with him.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then he's just like...
Yes.
He's just like, I have a lolly in my bed. And someone who wants to be my wife. What do I do?
And a cooteré. I have a lolly girl with huge tits and a cooteré with no tits.
And then Lilith walks in and he just looks at both the girls in his bed. He's just
please, come on.
Yes, Lilith, come on. Best fucking shit ever.
That was funny.
And then continue. What the fuck else happens in this episode? Levi and Akio have like a little
Nothing.
feud.
That was it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Levi and Akio have a little like feud going on. Yui's thema is revealed to be what? Arc Symphony or something. I don't know what that even means.
I don't know. She can play the violin though.
She can play the violin. That's all that matters. Mira is shown off to be incredibly powerful. Arata being a grown-up in a situation, and then he self-cucks himself.
He self-cucks himself?
Self-cucks himself. He cucks himself. And then I think they start hinting about about Louise, and then I don't know, there's a bunch of sexual tension everywhere. And then they hint at something called the Internal Library, and that Louise is in control of the Internal Library and evil magic and shit. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeehaw.
There's a lot of stuff going on. And then I think it's like right at the end they say, oh, Louise has like dark, taboo, impure magic and has amassed enough power to become a Demon Lord candidate in her own right. So it's just like, okay. Oh, yeah, no. This is the episode where they get like teleported to the Internal Library for a bit. And Louise literally just fucking bites Selena in the fucking neck and takes her power. And it was just like, that is hot, but very, very strange. So it's just like, okay, fine. Episode 6, Selena's stuck in a hospital bed with a demon seal, which I don't know what that means. Demons, blah, 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 blah. Louise knows Arata has a lot of power and offers him him a place on her side because she says she can help him get Hijiri. And it's just like, oh, awesome. And then there's one bit where they're just like, okay, Levi, Akio, you two can run and like teleport and everything. Let's run at this chick while speaking, while yelling at her, knowing that she could teleport away from us. You dumbass motherfuckers. And then Louise like French kisses Arata and then fucking comes or something. I don't know. She goes fucking mental.
Jizzes, yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of shit where clothes get ripped off. Don't know. And then
I got an erection after that.
Yeah, and then there was like basically Levi in her undergarments, and it was just like hot damn. But
thanks. What's this like? Thank you for the feast. I forget how you say it in Japanese. No, not that. It's different. I forget. I don't know this phrase, but it's not itadakimasu. If it was itadakimasu, I would know it.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you.
No, that's just thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't fucking remember, mate. All right, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
And then I started to get so like disassociated with the story that it's revealed that Lisa's theme. I can't pronounce things. Selena's sister's thema is Stagna. And I literally wrote, I don't fucking know what that means. I'm starting to not care. Because I was just losing my shit. But then the episode ended with like the headmaster taking off his glasses, being hell serious. and it's revealed his.
The only thing I remember about her thema is that because it's like the idea is that it's the farthest thing away from you, like, or like the opposite of your own personality. Like Lee's she's very like active and likes to do things constantly. So because her thema is stagna, which is like stagnation, so it's the opposite of how she actually is, and stagnation is like not doing anything and just staying in one place, but her actual personality is she likes to keep moving and doing things. But I don't actually know like what that thema entails, like what she can do with that other than trap herself in space-time with, you know, time moving at like 1/1,000,000th the rate that it usually does or whatever. I don't know.
All right.
That's all I got.
Interesting. Episode 7 starts with, like, the headmaster revealing that his grimoire is Solomon's Gate, and it looks epic, and he's powerful. And then Lise just takes the clothes off, and then he's just like, oh, titties! And then gets fucking booted out the window and loses.
Yeet.
It's just like, you motherfucker. He just got destroyed. He just got defeated by tits. Wow.
And it was worth it.
It was, yeah. And then his quote here, his quote afterwards was, throughout history, evil mages have always been defeated once they obtain great power. And it's just like, you're not wrong, buddy. You're not wrong. Arata's grimoire turns out completed, like, Akio's, adapting and learning Akio's power, and then takes a human form. So Arata's grimoire is like a lolly. I don't know, a small chick.
Dude, she's the best. She's awesome.
She is pretty funny.
She's literally one of the boys.
She is one of the boys. And they name her Sora, I believe. Sora. Yeah, the Astral Codex is named Sora. And I was just like, nice. She's cute. And then she starts going on to be like, Master loves tits. Get in there. And then she's literally...
And I love watching him love tits.
I know. It honestly, like, she's the best wingman.
Dude, she's the type that would literally, like, if Arata, like, fucked one of the girls, she would film it.
Yeah, she is the type to do that, I think. But, and then, yeah, I got really annoyed in this fight because they just keep explaining their powers to their opponents, and it's just really annoying. Except, the twist of Arata putting, like, a mantra spell thing on his tongue. So when Lise kissed him to try and take his powers, she instead got what? Like, the opposite thing happened? I don't know. But
something.
That, I don't know.
Whatever the mantra and chant does. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It was smart. But then everyone, including Mira, who has been rather caught up into this point, wants to help save Lise. They say they got a plan, but they don't really show it. And then it's revealed that a new group called Isuka Riot is starting to invade.
I was like Iscariot, or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's how they say it in the show.
Yeah, but Isuka Riot is starting to invade, and there's another new ending called Restart the World, which was actually, I like the song. Restart the World was good.
Yeah.
Episode 8, fuck. So, episode 8 is just like, oh, okay, shit's happening. And episode 8, here it is. The archives are named loosely after the concept of the 7 deadly sins. And then I wrote, this makes a lot more sense. And this is where they also properly reveal that whatever sin the member of the Trinity Seven has, their personality is actually opposite to it. And then they reveal that Lilith's archive is lust, but she has no desire to be lusty. So that's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. That's when they reveal that, and it's pretty interesting. And then, like, I think Aaron's sin was wrath, like wrath, whatever the fuck. Like, so, wrath and destruction and whatnot. But in reality, she's just like, okay, whatever. Like, she doesn't want to take control of anything. She just has no wrath, but that's a sin. So it's just like, oh, Cool. And then in this episode, Sora heavily encourages Arata's perverted thoughts. And then there's even one point where she just fucking, when he's laying on his bed, she just appears and then is sitting on his lap. And it's just
like straddles him or whatever.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Dude, she's like the best wingman.
She is the best wingman. But then, I remember, I think it's Mira walks in, and then Mira's reaction to everything. I said, like, Mira's reaction at this point is less over the top, but it's like tasteful cuteness. I don't know, something like that. And then it's a bit more calm from the over the top bullshit we've had in the previous episodes, but it's still really cute. But then I said, okay, but rocket launcher Lilith is a bit extreme.
Yeah.
Rocket launcher Lilith. Then they all have they all have a bath or some shit, and then Arata and Lilith start to bond a bit more, watching the sunset, having a water fight. But then Levi fucking throws a leaf or something and takes out Lilith's bra.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's just like, damn.
Dude, she was one of the boys too.
Levi, one of the boys.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed at the very end of the episode that, oh, guys, look, it's Hijiri. She's back. And it's like, oh,
whoa.
Damn. In episode 9, it's actually revealed that, no, it's Hijiri's grimoire pretending to be Hijiri. And now the group has been split up because they were sent to another magic school to investigate why it was blown up. So the groups are split up, and instead, episode 9 is literally just Arata, Mira, and Sora. So they have to investigate the school, and then when Mira tries to execute her archive to take out these fucking monsters, instead her clothes just rip off and her magic is taken away. And it's just like, oh. So I literally wrote execute archive naked, but it's just like, oh, lovely.
Wow.
Cool. So then Arata tries to, like, just literally he decides to be chivalrous at this moment because he knows Mira is not into all the perversion. Like, puts his jacket over her, picks her up, and runs. And then there's a small battle between Iliad Fragment, which is Hijiri's grimoire, versus the Astral Codex, and I'm just like, cool, but all right. And and then literally, Arata tells Mira, seeing you act shy and modest throws me off, because it's just the complete opposite of Mira, and it's just like, fair. And then so Arata deciding to pause mid-ladder climb to obtain Mira's entire backstory is a bit odd. It's just like he's stopping in the middle of a ladder climb just to listen to her story. It's like,
wouldn't you climb to the top first?
Yeah. Alright.
No. It's fine.
And then, at this point where things look like Sora and Mira are going to be fucking destroyed, Arata's eyes go red and he starts becoming more fucking insane. And then his motivation is, I like it most when the girls I like are smiling. And then he goes fucking insane and turns into Demon Lord form. Episode 10, he turns into Demon Lord form, is about to destroy everything, but then he says he's a complete creep to Mira, and he's just like, you have potential, become my wife. And then Mira's just like, you're not Arata, and fucking bitch slaps him, and that somehow snaps him out of it. And then Sora contains his power, and it's like,
pranked.
And she says, you're not Arata, you're not him, so I have nothing to give you. So it's just like, okay, she actually cares. Cool.
Yep.
Good on her. And then, so this confuses me. The Iliad fragment, I believe, is said to be Hijiri's grimoire. So why does it go with Arata?
I don't know, really. I think Hijiri's grimoire is just vibing. Honestly, I think she's low key wants Arata to fuck her or something. I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, well, either way, he gets 2 grimoires, so, yeah. And she also Ilia Fragment, which they just called Ilia, also has a human form, so cool. And then I liked Mira was called out, because when they all return, Mira starts actually calling Arata by his name in front of the others. And then she's being called out for it, and then everyone's just like, Tsundere. I don't know. See, this is when I started to come around to Mira. I thought it was adorable. But yeah. And then there was a song with lyrics playing in the background when there was actually building up to a fight of a cult of blue-haired thoughts. And then fucking Hijiri returns, and it's like, yay. Her power is literally called Satan. And it's like, oh.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
And then they transport to another world or some shit, and then Aaron literally collapses space and time to get the fuck over to this other dimension. And she unlocks another Thema to summon a demon spear. And it's like, okay, why? Well, I don't get what's going on, but fine. And then, yeah. Then they reveal a white-haired woman with an eye patch who looks pretty hot. Her name's Lugh. L-U-G-H.
I'm not sure.
No, don't know either. I didn't really write a lot about episode 11. Big fights and lots of talks and
talking and then exposition.
Yeah, although they did reveal in episode 11 that Lilith is now on the good side, and she's stuck within Selena's camera, and they can switch places. But technically, Lilith has Selena's body, but her tits grow a bit bigger. That's about it. And then so whenever Lilith does anything sexual,
can't complain.
Whenever Lilith does anything pervy or sexual, Selena loses her shit because it's just like, hey, that's my body, don't do that. And the end of the battle, I fucking love the end of the episode because Arata just gets yeeted back into the main world and then lands on Leah's tits, and it's just like, oh damn. He just gets yeeted into another world. And then,
if he lands, like, if he falls at any point in the show, chances are he's probably grabbing some girl's tits. Even if it's the enemies.
Yeah.
And like it was in this case.
Yeah. Episode 12, final episode of the season. They bring back one of the ending songs for the start of the final battle. Cool shit. Good anime trope. Good to do that.
Yeah.
And Arata just looks at who he thinks is Selena, and it's just like, something's wrong here. And then he's just like, no, those boobs are definitely Lilith's. And then Selena's just like, how dare you tell us apart by...
Sexy aura that belongs to Lilith. Like, you right.
It's just like, how dare you tell us apart by our tits? And it's just like, that's so funny.
Well, that's all he's got, dude. Leave him alone.
Then the random white-haired chick with an eye patch, I don't know her name. I'll call her Leal. I don't know. Lee. I don't know. Fuck. I'll call her eye patch lady.
Lou.
She just Lug. I don't know. But she gets confused because she's just like, wait a minute. You've groped me and no longer give a shit 2 seconds later. I'm so confused. And then everyone's just like, yeah, he does that.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing.
Yep. And then they kind of jumped the gun because at the end of episode 11, before they transported back to the main world, they said Arata's out of magic, and then out of mana, and then straight away in episode 12, he suddenly connects to all the archives, and it's just like, oh, okay, fine, whatever.
Yep.
Then fighting occurs, a lot of talking. But this is when they connect the dots. I wrote, Hijiri foresaw a future in which Arata reigned supreme as the demon lord, with all the Trinity Seven girls being his bitches. And it's like a prophecy Hijiri is trying to end. A prophecy in which the Demon Lord and the Trinity Seven will always find each other and destroy the world together as a way of reincarnation. From the looks of it, it also means that Hijiri was never a member of Arata's family. Rather, she placed herself in that spot to watch him and make sure he doesn't destroy the world, hence the first episode. But that kind of ruins the whole part of the third episode that involves her picture being how... I don't know, it kind of ruins that, but whatever.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yep. Hijiri turns into a gem, and a pink-haired chick takes it. And, okay. And then the episode ends with Lilith and Arata basically going on a date.
And it's cute.
Yeah, and it's cute. And it shows... And they go to a restaurant which coincidentally has Akio as the chef and Mira as the maid. And it's like, ha ha! And, cute. And then, like, and then, the ending where Lilith, like, where Arata says, close your eyes, I have a gift, and Lilith is really nervous, but then goes for the kiss. That was adorable. That was fucking adorable. It was.
She was like, oh my god, it's like, because she thinks he's gonna kiss her. He's like, hold on, we can't do this yet, and then she, like, kind of accepts it, and then he gives her the pendant.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted them to kiss, but it's fine.
Yeah. And, that's the season. So...
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good way to end it, though. Because, like, everyone's there. Like, I've seen worse endings.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those endings that, like, hints that there's more in the future if the anime ever gets picked up again. And, fortunately, it did. Yeah, we've covered most of the OVA. It was basically the... It did actually contribute to the plot of the movies, though, which was interesting. It was basically them saying... Look, you need to learn more about everyone else, all the other Trinity Seven's archives. Now, he doesn't actually learn about Lisa's because Lisa just wants to fuck. So he just
understandable. I don't want to fuck her.
He just wants to run. And one of the quotes he says is, all right, show me all the erotic things you can with Selena's body. And it was just like, what?
Hey.
Oh, that's funny. And then Levi hints that she is the dessert of the Trinity Seven. Yeah. It's just like, damn, boy, damn.
Slurp, slurp.
Oh, damn it. And we learn a bit more about the greed, like everyone else's archives and everything. Yui's sin is actually greed, and she's the opposite of greedy. She just wants to help people and be with One-chan.
Yay!
And I hate it. Another quote here, another quote to put on the wall. Guys never get tired at looking at a pretty girl's body. Truth, brother.
True fact.
Akio and Arata have like a nice conversation in the bath, and it's actually like a nice conversation. But then the funniest and most probably hottest thing happens where they cut to the girls' bathroom. It's Lilith, Yui, Aaron, and Selena, and everyone's just like groping Lilith.
Yeah, dude.
And Yui was so funny, just going squishy, squishy while groping her. Mummy, mummy, mummy.
She has her moments.
I don't know why I thought that was adorable, and fucking
squishy,
hilarious.
Squishy.
Even then, Akio encourages Arata to literally be perverted for the girls, but then asks him to go easy on Mira. So it's like that's in character, but also really hot.
Yes.
And okay, yeah, the funniest thing from this entire show happened in the OVA, where Aaron is trying to explain her like Wrath archive or whatever and the sin to Arata, and then they're just like, well, you don't actually like you don't have wrath inside of you because your personality is the opposite, but things you do invoke the wrath of others. And then they're just like, how so? And then Arata and Aaron applaud Lilith for getting mad about them attempting to make babies as a demonstration as wrath. And Lilith gets mad, and then Aaron and Arata just applaud her. It's so I lost my shit. That was the funniest shit to me. It's just
that's a good one.
Oh, Jesus. And then Arata accidentally walks in on Mira changing, and it's just like, okay, first of all, Arata, knock the door, please. And Mira, lock the door when you're changing, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
But then the whole shit with Mira and Arata happens where Mira's just like, why did I want him to assault me? And then...
I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I don't know. Tsundere. Then this hug happens where Lilith is jealous of how Arata was with Mira and a lot of other things. So Lilith literally wants to sleep with Arata for the night.
Yeah.
And then there was like an attempted kiss, and Lilith has a confession, and then Arata just is like a white knight and says, no, we can't do this. But then Levi jumps in at the very end, and it's just like, bitch, I set up the whole thing. I made this happen.
Hey.
And then everyone gets angry. But then they actually, at the end of the OVA, the principal reveals that the white-haired eye patch chick might be coming to the school, and then hints that there is a unique future for everything that's happening. And then there was another girl with purple hair or something in a desert, and it was just like, okay, bro, whatever.
Else other shit.
Yep, and then the movies. Now, okay, we've gone on for ages, but let's fucking finish it here. What did you think of the movies? Hello?
What? I didn't hear you. You cut out.
I said, we've been going on for ages, but let's finish this off. What did you think of the movies?
The movies were fine. They were nothing more and nothing less than just fine. I thought, like I mentioned, the whole Arata and Lilith having a little girl thing, that shit was adorable. But again, it felt like there were a lot of things that just weren't quite explained and just kind of happened. It did the very shonen thing where, here's Hijiri and the white-haired chick. They're now on our side because bigger threat has shown up, and until further notice, they are now good guy. And sure, okay, fine, but it almost felt like forced. Then it happened again in the second movie, but whatever. It was fine. I could understand if it didn't feel forced. It's just part of me is this is definitely just they're just trying to get every single major character on one side.
I agree. I agree.
But it wasn't that bad. It definitely could have been worse. But other than that, the plot of the first movie was, I definitely think the second movie was an improvement.
Yes.
But the first movie was just kind of there. I wasn't a huge fan of the other Demon Lord guy.
He was pathetic.
He was really boring. I just didn't care for him. And the most compelling thing about that movie was the relationship between Arata and Lilith and their little girl. That was the only thing, and it was really kind of inspiring when towards the end they were I'm gonna have, the girl was if I grant you this power, I'm gonna have to disappear. But Arata was in classic Arata fashion was no, I'm not gonna let that happen. You're gonna give me the power and you're gonna stay around. But it didn't end up happening. But it's fine. But it was that was the most it definitely could have been better. But as far as emotion in Trinity Seven, I kind of felt that that kind of hit me. But the battle scenes weren't impressive by any means. And then because everyone finished off with their big moves or whatever, and everyone firing a spell at the same time finished off the white demon guy. I did not give a shit about him. He was so bad. But he was literally just a a catalyst to get all of the major characters on one side. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
But the second one was a lot better. There was a lot. I think it was paced a bit better. It still was a little bizarre just because it's Trinity Seven and they have to fit in the fan service somewhere. But overall, I feel like the second movie was a pretty solid improvement over the first one. The villain, even though he was kind of similar to the last guy, I found him more interesting. And he had a lot more going for him as like storytelling wise, but I guess and I felt like they're like each character, or at least different characters from what we'd seen in the show and the last movie, had time to shine in the second movie, which was nice. Like Akio, who really didn't get too much focus in the show. So the second movie definitely was better, and there was a lot more. It felt like, it actually felt like everyone knew each other really well by this point. Like, it actually, it showed in the characters' dialogue and all this other stuff. So it felt like they had like this full trust in each other, and there was little doubt about like what they would win in the end. All this other stuff, like, it felt like they were all a real unit, and that was cool. Instead of just moves, let's all use our big move at the end. But the second movie, I liked it a lot. But again, it was like, I enjoyed it, but it's like, if I were criticizing it, it's not. It was fine. It was good.
I 100% agree. You know what I thought? Like, again, I as well disliked the first movie, and I actually didn't care for the connection with the kid, Lilith, because she was literally on screen for like 20 minutes before she disappeared. So I didn't care. I felt like if they literally merged the two movies, and Lilith's father was the main enemy, and they still had the kid, like, with the grimoire and the grimoire absorbing his power, and they had the kid, and then, like, Lilith's father comes to take Lilith because he needs her archive, and then all this shit happens, and then it's like a big rescue mission and everything. If they did that and it was all combined in one, I felt like it could have been executed a lot better. But yeah, look, the first movie, I liked the recap of the series because it actually gave us a proper explanation about themas and archives, so that was nice. But then, like, Sora, Ilya are just now Arata's grimoires. They're just with him now. And then, alright, cool. There was, like, a montage of everyone attempting to fuck Arata, so that was funny. But
yeah,
like, it was mostly for the humor. But then they're just like, oh, by the way, Arata, for the first time ever, is touching Lilith's grimoire, and because of this, it gains a human form in the form of a kid that looks like both of them, and then she starts calling them her parents, so they name her Lilith, and everyone cutes out. Everyone is just like, oh my god, she's so fucking adorable. And then they all have a bath or something. And then
yay,
the headmaster's just like, oh shit, I sense great power. Can you evil motherfuckers that tried to blow up the school a week ago help us out? And they're like, yeah.
So sure, whatever.
Yeah, so Hijiri, the white-haired chick with the eye patch, and like Hijiri, a white-haired chick with the eye patch, and a pink-haired chick named Liber help.
Oh yeah, her.
So they're Isuka Riot, so they help. Sealed within the Eternal Library, which was hinted at earlier in the series, because I think they briefly went to the Eternal Library. I don't know, but the seal of the Eternal Library opens because of Lilith or some shit. I don't know. I don't even remember why it opened.
I got nothing.
I don't know. The Eternal Library opens and the White Demon Lord is released, and he looks just like Arata because, again, it's referencing the prophecy of Arata reincarnating the world as a Demon Lord because he does that every 1,000 years or so. I don't know. So it looks like Arata, but just pale.
Yep.
Arata finally gets to have a bath with the giant group. Levi encourages Selena, being like, your sister's got big tits. You'll grow
Don't worry,
soon,
you'll have them
Selena.
someday.
You'll grow soon, Selena. So the last Trinity, the White Demon Lord, is like, I'm here to fuck up bitches. And then it doesn't. Like, it's...
I don't care.
But the one thing I thought was funny, because Lilith, the kid, is still Lilith's grimoire, she just fucking turns into a sniper rifle for Lilith. It's just like, I want a fucking child that will turn into a rifle. That's fucking awesome. Imagine if your kid turned into an assault rifle. That'd be hilarious.
I'd rather my kid stay a child, actually.
I just thought that was funny. But then, so Hijiri and the Isuka Riot are like, oh yeah, no, this guy is a way worse demon lord than you will ever be, so we're gonna help you destroy him. So
pranked.
The team is literally the most insane cast. The Demon Lord candidate Arata, who possesses the grimoires of Sora and Ilia. The Trinity Seven of Lilith, who possesses a grimoire named Lithum. And then Levi, Aaron, Mira, Akio, Yui, and Lies / Selena. Then Isuka Riot, considering of Hijiri, Leal, whatever the fuck, and Liber. And it's just like, what a fucking harem. Jesus fucking Christ.
Not another man in sight.
Not another man in sight. And then, Hijiri and Aaron work together, and then it's like properly showed off how similar in appearance they are, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Wow.
And then, Hijiri literally uses her Satan powers as well, which was cool. Like that she used before. She uses her Satan powers to fight the White Demon Lord. And it's like, oh, wow, cool. And then, I think for the first time ever, Akio reverts back to her small nun appearance. And it's just like, I did not see that coming. I was just like, I thought that flashback was her as a kid. But no, that's her now. She's a little nun. And it's just like, what the fuck? All right, cool. And, fine. And then... the White Demon Lord, literally, as soon as Arata shows up in front of him, he's just like, I suck your power, and he takes his power. But then, because Lilith took a bit of Arata's power as well, Arata and Lilith work together using, I think, her archive to fight back, because he got his power back from Lilith. And it's like, oh... that's pretty cool, actually. That was cool. But then, literally, the White Demon Lord, all he does is he takes Arata's power, summons a handgun, shoots them, and then dies.
Yeet.
He's the most useless fucking antagonist in the world.
He's like that one dude from the second Pokemon movie who did nothing.
Oh, yeah. He just kidnapped birds. What a fucking asshole. What an asshole. But,
what a dickweed.
I wrote that the reason I wasn't... okay, the one thing I do like about Arata, though, his motivation... Like, he used this as his excuse to make Lies become a good girl. Leave the dark side. His motivation is that
Come to the good side, I have dick.
That too. But after his trauma of losing Hijiri the first time, he... refuses to let anyone else disappear or sacrifice themselves. So that's why he does his best to keep everyone together. But then, regardless, Lilith disappears. But then she says, oh, I'll always be with you, and then turns back into a grimoire. And then in my mind, I'm just like, can't he just touch the grimoire again?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
and then it's fine. Lilith will return.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah. And then something about him turning into a paladin form and then everyone's clothes being ripped off. And it's like, okay.
Yeehaw!
Fine. And then they actually hint as well, there's an end credits scene with two chicks in a different school called Ashira and Anna. But they don't appear in the second movie, so I don't know.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Read the manga.
Read the manga. I'm gonna do that. Then the second movie was much better than the first one. Starts off with Arata, Lilith, Akio, and the white-haired chick with an eye patch. So checking out Akio's homeland, which is destroyed. So we can assume that Iska Riot are now just good. Okay.
Cool.
Lilith's default to protecting Arata is literally shoving him in her tits. So that's funny.
Who can complain?
Well, we've seen it multiple times. And then Lou, the whitehead chick, like, attempts to kill Arata. And then Selena's, what did they use Selena's camera to take a photo? And then it binds
her binding magic.
It binds her up, and then it just shows off her fat ass, and it's just like, damn, boy, she thick, boy.
Why is I've always why is she the one that gets the most exposed out of any girl other than maybe Lee's in the entire show?
I don't know, but I'm not complaining because I thought she was cute. So then again, every chick in the show was cute. So
yeah,
fuck it. A giant red dragon appears out of a tornado. This guy called Abyss Trinity, who again has a similar appearance to Arata, but he's red. So it's like they have one default design for guys. Or demon lords, I guess. Abyss Trinity kidnaps Lilith because they have the same archive. And then they somehow... Arata somehow goes to Akio's dream world, so apparently she also has a dream world. I don't know. Whatever. And then, Abyss Trinity reveals himself to be Lilith's father. Everyone appears out of nowhere. And then I got fucking angry because I was just like, okay, fuck. Hijiri exists to destroy demon lords. She's failed to do that multiple times. Now the demon lord she wants to destroy the demon lord Abyss Trinity, and then she wants to also destroy Arata. But because Arata is friendly, she doesn't. And it's just why?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then Akio and Arata have some cute moments, and they have to literally retrieve the demon weapon Jutsia, and Arata can't use it because he has not obtained Trinity yet, because he's missing Liez's archive, which makes sense because in the OVA he never actually got it. So, you know what? There. So then they basically fuck, but they don't. So Lie's just
that's am I gonna become a man? He's no, you can't become a man. And then she's like, oh, but we'll become adults together when I'm back. It's sly dog.
It was very, 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 very hot. But if we watched this in a cinema,
I'd get my dick out anyway.
Oh, God. And there's this whole bit about how the white...
I hope y'all don't mind.
God. And then there's one bit where the white-haired chick with the eye patch, it's revealed that she likes treasure. So, okay, cool. She touches the demon sword, and then it fucking, again, takes her power and exposes her. So then she's just like... I don't think I can marry anyone but you after this because you violated me so much. And it's just why? What the fuck? But it's just she was one of the badass chicks at the end of the season fighting Levi and beating Levi. And now she's turned into just another bit of harem bait. So
Yeah. Now she's all of the fan service. Like 80% of the fan service.
most of it, yeah. So, alright. Then, yeah, Lilith gets concerned because Lilith, again, throughout this whole thing has had power sucked from her multiple times, and then she turns evil briefly near the end. And then Lilith was concerned because everyone said, "Oh, Arata's obtained Trinity. That means if he loses control now, he'll literally destroy the world." So everyone was concerned. Everyone was concerned about him. But then they meet up, and Lilith's just like, "Oh, I'm so happy you're not evil. Lovely."
Yay!
Then they bring back one of the season's ending songs for the fight. Lilith doesn't have nipples confirmed because they literally show her whole tit and no nipple.
It's fine.
And
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Not mad.
I'm not mad.
Abyss Trinity gave Lilith his powers to turn her into a demon lord called the Last Key, or something. Abyss Trinity somehow has powers that overwrites and destroys other people's archives. And then Lise and Akio admit to the white-haired chick that they've fallen in love with Arata. So, there you go. Lovely.
Yay!
There was a really good sword fight between Arata and Abyss Trinity, like, without talking, so that was sick, but then there's more talking later. Cool.
Fine.
And then I think the excuse for them overcoming Abyss Trinity was a bit shit. Like, all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, Akio and Lise helped Arata somehow, and then they all kick his ass.
Okay.
Fine.
Cool.
And then, yeah. And then the whitehead chick calls Arata, like Aaron, says, "Oh, yeah, you're my future husband." So then, alright, fine. He's got 2 future husbands, I guess. They blow up a library.
8 future wives. Or 10. Anywhere from 8 to 10.
He lives in India. So they blow up the library, and then the demon weapon sword, Jutsia, takes a compact form around Arata's neck with the 2 grimoires, and then says, "Oh, I can turn into anything you want." So then Arata's just like, Arata's just like, "Even a cute girl?" And he's just like, the sword says to him, "A busty girl?" And he's just like, "Fuck yeah!" And then Lilith loses his shit, and it's just like, "I can't believe your perversion. I can't believe you'd sexually harass a sword." And I just fucking died. I can't believe you'd sexually harass a sword. So yeah, so then it all ends with everyone.
Do what a man's gotta do.
Yeah. Then it all ends with everyone being like, "Oh, Arata, adorable."
You're such a silly goose.
Yeah. So Arata literally he's reached Abyss Trinity. He's got all the powers. He's got 2 grimoires and the demon sword. He's literally the most powerful motherfucker in the world.
We could have another 12-episode series of this, of just 20 minutes of Arata fucking every single girl in his harem. Individually.
Yeah, there's enough girls to make that happen. There's enough girls to make that happen. So make the hentai spin-off of a bit Trinity Seven, the fucking, and
Into the Abyss. The Abyss is the vagina.
Yes.
There you go.
And
done.
The ending song. Welcome to the Abyss. Abyss Trinity. The ending song for this is a rock song, and it was pretty good. And then I wrote, if this is the way Trinity 7 ends, at least the anime, then you know what? I won't be sad. This movie was 10 times better than the first movie. It gave us more plot and backstory for a majority of the unexplored characters, and it continues with the shenanigans we're used to. And now Arata is literally the most powerful being in the world, so I don't know what else they could do. I literally don't know what else they could do here. So
yeah, I don't know. Other than the hentai spin-off.
Other than the hentai spin-off, which needs to happen. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's literally all of a Trinity 7, and my throat hurts.
Fair.
So I'm sorry that I spent like an hour and a half talking, Gus, while you only spent like 20 minutes.
It's okay.
I
was ready for it.
You ready for it?
I knew it was going to happen.
this has kind of become the theme of our reviews. You take over the album
I don't
reviews,
really
and I take
know like what happens. I'm always just kind of vibing during these anime reviews.
So it's always like you take over the album reviews, and I take over the anime reviews. That's kind of what we've been doing, and it's kind of worked. But now my throat hurts. Ah! So that's not good.
Yeah,
but,
go ahead and scream. That'll make it better.
Yes, let's do that. But yeah. Anyway, that's Trinity Seven. Again, we explored. We told you guys what we thought of the series as a whole at the start. The one thing I am upset about though is that you don't see enough Trinity Seven fan art online.
Yeah, I don't think it's that popular of a series.
Which is strange, considering it got an OVA in 2 movies. You thought maybe it's only popular in Japan. I don't know.
Could be.
But considering it got 2 movies, though, that's surprising. You'd think it'd be a lot more popular.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And we don't know if there will be any continuation of the anime since the second movie was released last year. So who knows? It might be a long time. But yeah, I do enjoy it. Again, we've talked about what we felt about the series as a whole, but yeah, I feel like it can be enjoyed. If you like your harem anime, then yeah, give it a go. I reckon you'll like it.
Yeah. It's just fun. Just don't think about it too much.
Yeah, don't be like me and overthink things. Just go along for the ride. Enjoy the tits. Enjoy all the babes, enjoy the tits, and enjoy the well-written, hilarious dialogue.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You'll be in it to win it.
There you go. You'll be in it to win it. I legit just want to search up Trinity 7 on my anime list and see if it's, like, at all popular, because I legitimately don't understand why... Like, because I've searched up Trinity 7, like, fan art and that, and there's not a lot of it. I don't get why there isn't a lot. It's... I don't know.
For some reason that doesn't surprise me. I don't know why. Like, I just don't, like... Generally, I don't see a lot of people talking about this show.
Yeah. I don't know. It
just kind of exists.
Well, out of 250,000 user reviews on Trinity 7, it's got a 7.3 out of 10, which is pretty good, actually.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. So everyone's just like, you know what? It's not the best shit, but it's pretty good.
It's
and literally
pretty
the first review that comes up is pretty much... Actually, this is... Okay, you know what? You don't need to listen to this whole 2-hour fucking podcast. The first review on my anime list I've seen: a mediocre story, typical high school setting, unnecessarily convoluted magic system, and lots of fan service.
There you go.
Trinity 7 would have been utterly average and forgettable if it wasn't for its characters.
You're welcome. They've told you exactly in those sentences right there what we've told you.
Yep.
There you go.
So
we were right. We were right on target.
Yep, we were right on target. So thank you so much for listening to our completely endless, mindless shenanigans, which were probably went on a bit long because we normally like to try and keep these an hour and a half or something like that. But there was a lot to cover here since there's been more than just one season.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week we have an album review on Nate Wants to Battle's Thanks for More Covers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the week after that we'll be doing an anime review on ReZero.
Yep.
Now, I am encouraging both Gus and I to watch the director's cut because, according to Espiritu, during our special episode with Espiritu, they added in more dialogue that kind of... like, it adds more to the plot, which was only previously discussed in the light novel, because season 2 is going to be following the light novel a bit more.
Then maybe I will.
Yes, so I am going to watch the director's cut and the OVA. That's my plan.
Well, the thing is, each director's cut is like probably 50 minutes, so episode breakdowns might be a little much.
I reckon, yeah, I don't think we'll do episode breakdowns. I reckon we'll minimize it to just discussion about the show itself.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that anyway.
Yeah. And yeah, I reckon we'll take it a different direction next fortnight, because I don't think I can keep doing this with every anime review anyway, because this just fucking hurts. So
Fair.
I reckon instead of doing episode breakdowns, we'll just do overall reviews of the show, and hopefully only go for an hour or so, because we can talk about other aspects of shows. So
Yeah.
But regardless, we hope you enjoyed this. And let us know what you think of Trinity Seven in the comments down below. And if you have any questions, suggestions for anime reviews, or anything of the sorts, please email us at firestormproductions2@gmail.com, or leave them in the comments.
Yeah. Or interact with us on social media. Well, only our singular social media is Firestorm Pod, at Firestorm Pod on Twitter. Follow us, or be square or something.
Follow us for the epic penis jokes, and you know what? I'm gonna start uploading anime fan art with
Credits to the source.
With credits to the source, because
There
we
you go.
like tits.
Fuck, yes, we do. I almost dropped something. Yes. Bye? We're done?
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Wow, that was gay.
Fuck, my throat hurts.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
No, why did I do that?
It was gay.
Fuck you, you're gay.